Are you one of those people, those spiritual people who is really dedicated to your spiritual ascension and really loves the growth and the learning and the expansion, but sometimes you get a little estranged from the mundane? That's me. And I know there's a lot of other people out there, especially when we are like really driven to stay committed to our spiritual growth, and we love like all the aspects of it and learning about it and being in it and utilizing it. But there's this other aspect that we sometimes get a little distant from and we disregard, but it's really important to keep this aspect going with it, because otherwise we get too much up in the 5D and we forget that we're living here on the earth. So what do I really mean? It dawned on me recently because I've found that I didn't want to do stuff. I wanted to just sit and relax, but I knew there was things that I wanted to get done. And oftentimes when I don't want to do something, I just allow myself not to do it. But it felt important for me to challenge this. And so the other day, I just had this bad attitude and I was like, well, I feel like it's important that I take action to move my energy forward. And I was like, what am I lacking here? And I'd been so into doing the spiritual work and praying and giving gratitude and retraining my mind that I forgot to, one, tend to my body, and two, do some mundane tasks like cleaning, like just taking a bath, cleansing your energy, drinking some teas, maybe doing a face mask. Self-care and cleaning serve the purpose of keeping these beautiful body temples in peace and good-natured health and feeling loved, and us moving energy around by cleaning to keep our space clean, to get things done that maybe we've been holding off and don't want to do, frees up energy. And so when you do the mundane stuff, it disconnects you from the spiritual stuff and gives it a rest and allows the energy to work its magic, and it allows you to focus elsewhere and allow the magic to unfold and to happen. I think this is probably a place where I used to allow myself to get stuck because I would just be so focused on pushing through the spiritual growth. And I want to go to this place, I need this and this and this. And then I would get bogged down because I wasn't doing mundane tasks, or I was doing something that, like, even just listening to an ebook, or listening to a book on tape, which is something I really love. I put that on and I folded some clothes. And just the act of doing that bring me some joy and gave me a place to rest and disconnect from the spiritual work that I was doing. And it's important for that. It's part of the process. If we get too lost up here, we're escaping, we're not allowing the energy to move, we're too focused on it, and it just doesn't go anywhere. So we gotta release it, let it go, and find something in our normal day that's gonna help us move energy and focus on just living a human life, the simple stuff. There's beauty in doing the simple stuff. So I had a stack of chores that I had been allowing myself to procrastinate on that I didn't want to do. And I just got this idea. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do them. I'm just going to get them out of the way. I had some hand sewing to do, a couple of things that needed some extra stitches. I plowed through that. I vacuumed the stairs. I don't usually like vacuuming the stairs because the vacuum's heavy. I got that done. I put away some holiday stuff back in my spare room, and that looks a lot better. It feels a lot better. I put some books back on the shelf. I did some laundry, and I just felt so good after that. I listened to Harry Potter on tape while I did that, and then to reward myself, I took like an hour and a half nap. And that felt really good to just disconnect, because I had been just being like in all that spiritual energy, not allowing it to move around, not allowing it to do its thing. And so I'm wondering if maybe you are a person who sometimes is so into the work up here that you forget to sometimes come down here and be in that. And I'm finding this new understanding about this. Like, I've heard this concept before, but it's like I used to go around telling people I just hate cleaning, but now I can kind of shed that label, because really what cleaning and tending to the mundane means is I'm moving energy to keep my space alive and fresh and flowing and not stagnant. I've made a goal to run the dishwasher once a day, load it and unload it, because me and my husband both had the tendency to not want to do the dishes, and it would pile up and we would just both stare at it and let it become obnoxiously out of sorts. And so now it's my goal that we all get our dishes in there and out there once a day. And so that's just a little thing that we do in the mundane world to keep the energy flowing there. So next time that I notice that I'm too much up here and not allowing things to flow and I need to take a break, I'm going to remind myself that there's beauty in just the simple things. It's like going out on your porch and staring at the tree that you've seen a million times and finding beauty in it, in its simplest form, the beauty in that Mother Nature created it and it exists. Look at the bark, look at the leaves, all the beauty that came about to create that tree. And so now I look around, and when I get to move things or clean things up or rearrange things, it has a little bit different place in my heart now, because it means it's a thing that I just get to tend to make sure that my environment feels good. And when I tend to my outer world here, I'm also tending to my inner world, and they are a reflection of each other. Yeah, I definitely feel less like I hate cleaning now, because I know that it has its own special purpose. I think maybe why I hated cleaning was when I was a kid, I was forced to clean, and I didn't like that. I wanted to go out and play. Just like now, I just want to play. I get it. But I can play while I'm tending to and doing my cleaning as well. Put on a book on tape or some music and, have a special moment, because that can make the experience all the better. And now also, I've freed space by tending to my environment for the spiritual work to blossom. Before I realized that I had some movement to create here in the mundane world, I was slightly obsessing about, oh my God, are the answers that I need gonna come? Is this all gonna work out? Is the timing okay? See, that was an indicator right there that I am too stuck up here and not trusting, then I need to anchor in some movement, move some energy here. And I think that's a pretty potent lesson, especially for us spiritual people who just love that work so much, but we can't always be up here. We've got to ground it down. We've got to be here in Mother Earth and tend to our human needs and of in our environment, having clean clothes, having, you know, a clean body. Like, I notice mornings when I don't put on my deodorant, put on a little eyeliner, put on a spritz of perfume, put on a little lotion, put on a little bit of some face stuff, that I don't feel like I've tended to myself enough, and I don't feel as confident. It's just a little ritual that I do that makes me feel good about myself and my body, and it gives it some pampering, some luxurious tending to, even though it's like a 5-minute simple ritual. And that little 5-minute ritual is able to make me feel like night and day difference. So it's just those little processes that help us feel into our confidence, help us move energy, help us step away from the beautiful spiritual work that we love so much, and to tend to the earthly realm. Anyways, that's what I gotta share with you guys. I really appreciate you showing up to receive the message. Until the next video, love and laughter.